What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We'll be starting here in a minute. Andy, man, it's been a while. Welcome back. And missed you, man. Missed you. Ham Radio Prep Paul. Prep Ham Paul. There we go. We got it right. Welcome back to Japan. Love the live stream. It was amazing. I think you did a better live stream than Josh because you were actually there. Wayne is in attendance. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for stepping out of the Huntsville State Park and hanging out with us. I know you're right on Mike's tail on taking that park activation first spot away from him. Steve is here. He's going to be joining us. And Cooley in the house. What is up, everybody? And we got the Tank Radio emote. I love the emotes. Alright, it's that time, and I forgot to get the notes. There we go. Let's kick this off. What is going on as my mic gets muted? I'm Frank, letting Robert in the back room and saying hey to everybody. I'm Frank, KG5AHJ, and we're going to have an awesome time together. We got Robert in the back room, we got Steve in the back room, and I got to pull up my mic settings because it dropped me. But let's start, as always, by playing that awesome intro video. You joined the wrong time, Robert. Quick shout out to all my Patreons who makes the show possible. You can support me by joining Patreon in the link below. And on to Tank Radio. First things first, I wanted to go ahead and let y'all know about a special limited time offer. This is limited time only. A link in the description below, or it's pinned in the chat, or it's pinned in the first comment of this video. This month, it's only a limited time availability. Like the whiskey tumblers, I am selling Tank Radio coffee mugs. These coffee mugs are great for camping. These coffee mugs are just gonna be amazing. They have my logo on it. I love the green. I love everything about it. You got to order now. This is a pre-order only, so I'm gonna order these, and then it's gonna take a month or two, and then I'll be able to ship them out. So there's gonna be a little delay when you order them, but it is only pre-orders only. If you want your Tank Radio coffee mug, go ahead and head over to Grapevine Amateur Radio and look under drinkware, and you'll see my mug, and order it now. I love them. I love them. I saw that now. Bam. It is fixed. We'll fix it later in the audio podcast. But I'm back. Take Radio mugs are out there and awesome. I put the pinned link in the comments. So if you want a Tank Radio mug, those are pre-order only. Only pre-orders. That means once I close the pre-order window, there can be no more. No more. You should be hearing me now. Yes, wait for it. Mike N8YO says wait for it. But you should be hearing me. Let me just check here. Okay, perfect. Then Thank you to all my Patreon supporters. I can't do this channel without your support. You can do that through Patreon and YouTube memberships. Click the join button in the video and you'll be able to join me via YouTube, or you can go ahead and join me on Patreon. Patreon is awesome and amazing. And we just had our tank commander level meeting today. That means if you're at the tank commander level meeting, Steve, you should be joining. Steve is my first tank radio commander, and he hasn't joined in a while. But you joined me over our once a month meeting. We talk about everything tank radio. We talked about the hamfest this go around, and we talked about all such as things, and the Japanese Tokyo Hamfest. We chatted about that, and Ham Radio Prep Paul. We talked about your live stream, and those happen once a month, and you be at the tank commander level, and you get access to that, and you find the link for that. I post it every month. I try my best to do it a week beforehand. It falls on the third. Let's just count the fourth Sunday of every month, 3 p.m. Stickers. Packs are over on Grapevine Amateur Radio, and also Tank Radio mouse pads are over there on Etsy's page for Corky QRP. And this audio podcast that we're also doing here is also going to be on any podcaster app out there. You search Tank Radio, and you search Tank Radio, and you'll find me. My chat window's not working because I had to do something to it, but we'll fix that in a minute. Let's go ahead and bring all these awesome guys in. Y'all have been amazing. Thank you for the listen to the ramble. We had a blast at Huntsville. Let's kind of just start off with that offhand. Let me find the right scene. We got 1, 2, 3 of y'all, so it's the try scene. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How are y'all doing? And you're unmuted. Doing good. Everything was working until I tried to pin that chat. That's what got me out of sync. And Robert, my man, picked me up from the airport. Well, you were already at the airport and dropped me off. Thank you for that. I always do appreciate it. And this time I did not have a checked luggage. Uh-huh. Hey, it's easier with check luggage, man. I don't have to worry about the 2 or 1, or then you mention. They say no, Steve, you're not muted. Say something again. Oh, okay. No, it's not picking up the desktop audio right. There was an update to OBS. It's not picking up the desktop audio. No. How to fix that? Desktop audio. Why is it not picking it up? Where do I see what card? No, it's not a card. I didn't even test this part. Yeah. Well, it's OBS. OBS is not picking up the desktop audio. It's OBS. It's OBS. It's not under streaming audio. I don't see an audio. General. This is an OBS thing, and default audio, desktop audio, default. Speakers, headphones. Let's just try the headphones. We'll try it this one time. Yeah, give me something, guys.
Something.
Check. There it is. Y'all are hot now. Yes. I changed it. The desktop audio settings is whatever I'm hearing in my headset now. So.
That's Sorry. Not a live stream until something doesn't work.
Well, yeah.
That's it.
Well, this one was a unique one issue. If I wasn't so apt in audio and everything, I'd probably be scrambling. They say got it, perfect.
Yep, I just verified as well.
Sweet, thank you, Steve. And Steve, let me say thank you again. First tank commander out there. You're awesome.
And just ordered my coffee mug.
So
Yes. I need to check with Jason. I'm kind of holding off until I hit 50. 50 is the nice number where I have enough padding and there is actually a spin up cost on these. So I'm kind of waiting to hit 50. I'll probably pull the trigger around 40. We hit 30 a number of weeks ago, but that's when we hit the Yellowstone, Huntsville, and
mhm.
everything's just been bam, 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 bam.
Yeah,
But I
I
can't
missed out
wait
on
to
the
get these
whiskey
mugs.
tumblers. So
You did?
I did. I did.
Oh, I don't even have one around right now.
It's all
Um,
good.
the whiskey tumblers are awesome. Thank y'all. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. We were just chatting with Huntsville, and we used kind of get on subject now. We used Steve's kit to irradiate Carlos as he jumped out of the airplane. And we did get a couple of contacts. Did you try again on a later jump and got a better reception?
I didn't, but I know we were getting ready to, and then that storm rolled in. It was pretty wicked. We had lightning strikes very close to the pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't about to go stand out in the rain holding the metal antenna. And
Yeah,
yeah,
that was a fast, hot, heavy thunderstorm that hit us. Um, that the it was a Texas rainstorm. That's what it was. I'm sitting there and it came in and the lightning hit and it had loud thunder. I'm like, dang! And then it hit us hard. It rained hard and it was gone and rainy skies. I'm like, yep, Texas thunderstorm. Back to
hmm
normal, guys. Don't worry about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It came in hot and fast. That's for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
but it moved out pretty quick too.
Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't get footage. I thought I did. I went through all my footage. I thought I had footage of you talking about your bag, Steve. I have a little bit, the little clips of you be like, yeah, I copied Robert, but I don't think we went over item
We
by item here.
no, we didn't. I actually have that video coming. It's in
Ooh.
the pipeline. It's half recorded, but I've got a couple other items that should be here this week
Mm-hmm.
to finish it out because I noticed an issue when I was trying to work Carlos. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we've seen Robert's bag on the stream a number of times and on the channel. And let's just kind of start with your bag, Robert. What kind of got you the itch, the crawl, the idea, the inspiration of building a satellite pack all on your chest?
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing that certainly Steve likely appreciates now, and others will, um, if they jump into this, and I certainly hope they do. Right? I think it's fantastic when I see other people. First of all, when they reach out and say, "Hey, what are you using?" I
Mm-hmm.
always share that information. I want
Mhm.
more satellite operators out there. Um, but this is a journey, and this thing is never quote done. Right? I actually started with a Red Ox bag. Um, Boy, if you want the evolution, Frank, I've got a couple of pictures here
Yeah,
I can
let's look
share.
at some pictures.
All right, let me see where the heck I am. And let me see if I can share my screen.
Yep, I enabled shared.
Okay. It's just a couple of pictures here, so let me find the right picture to start with. All right, and now let's see if I can share. All right, let me know if that's coming through.
Yep, it is.
All right,
Oh,
so
it's a younger Robert.
uh,
I remember that shirt like 3 years ago.
yeah, maybe a thinner Robert. Um, but you can see there, that is not the chest rig I'm using today.
No.
That is a Red Ox EDC Gator.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I started with. So I would carry the 2730 in that. I actually had a 12 amp hour BioNO battery in that. And I would just kind of plop the control head for the radio up on top of the bag. And so if you guys are interested in seeing that bag a little bit more, and look, it's certainly handy to do what somebody else has done and kind of work the kinks out. But this is just a bag I had. I didn't buy this to do satellites with. So start with what you have, right? The main thing is to get out there and start working them. But
Mhm.
this is actually a clip from one of Josh's videos. Josh did a video of me out there at Huntsville, I think 3 years ago.
I was gonna say that does look like the pavilion at Monsanto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah, it
think it's that 3
definitely
years
is.
ago because of that T-shirt. I remember
Yeah,
that
yeah.
T-shirt.
But
And
if
we're all
you
enamored with it because on the back had the QR code,
oh
the
yeah, the
eyeball
QR
QSO.
code. Yep. But if you see up there in the top in the left-hand corner, it's IAS crossband repeater ham radio contacts. That's the name of his video. So if you guys
Mhm.
want to see that, go out and take a peek at that. Um, let me see. Let me go ahead and go to the next picture. Let's see if this will actually work the way it intended. Yep. So this is by and large the bag I'm using today. And this is an Eberly stock multi-pack. So you can buy this today. Now, unfortunately, you guys can see it's got like some Molly on the front, kind of their version of Molly on the front of the bag, and that's what I'm
Mhm.
using to add the battery holder to. They've eliminated that,
Mm.
so it no longer has that Molly on it. But I've got a hot tip for you guys. If you go out and look at one of my most recent videos, there's a Amazon link to the old bag. So you can still buy the old bag, but you can't buy it through Eberly stock. You can buy it through Amazon. And I think it's like 49 bucks or something, which is comparable to what you would pay through Eberly stock. And I mean, that is an affiliate link. So just full disclosure there. But you can see I've got on the top of the bag, I've got the control head, the radio is stuffed in the bag. I've got a 3 amp hour Bioenno on the front of the bag. I've got a voice recorder
Mhm.
stuffed in the side, and I like to operate using my Heil headset. And this is the IC version. This is the version to use with ICOM radios. But you guys don't see me operate with that too often, because if I'm operating in front of folks, I want them to hear the audio. And of course, you're not going to hear the audio if I'm pumping them through my headphones. So that's primarily the pack today. Now here's a picture of the pack the way I was using it maybe 6 months ago. And I have a very weak elastic harness on it, and you can see how low the bag hangs. So this was actually from a Trigicon Bino pack, and it just didn't have enough oomph in the elastic. So I have subsequently changed that out for a harness that Eberly stock now makes. And you can see that holds that much more tightly to my chest. And then one sneak peek I'll throw in here before I take a drink of water and give Steve a chance to get a word in edgewise is, and if we don't have time for this, that's fine. This is another bag that I use similar to the Eberly stock that I use for my 818 when I'm working it portable. And so I can talk about that once we kind of get through the FM satellite piece. But this is part of my linear kit. And yeah, that's what I'm using today for my linear kit.
All
Nice.
All
right.
right.
Now I'm gonna have to step up my game more. Wonder if I can use a 705 for the linear birds.
Well, you need two of them. That's the rub on the 705. However, right, the new 1F, the FTX
Yeah.
1F, full
Uh,
duplex. Now we're talking
oh,
a
wait and see. Wait and
a
see.
very cool linear satellite rig. So let me see if I can stop the share. I lost my window.
It's probably at the top. Careful so you don't.
Yeah, careful which
Yeah,
red button you hit.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I'll find it here in a second.
Or Steve, you can go ahead and probably just share on top of it.
Well, so the only thing I grabbed was links. I don't have pictures and videos ready to go. Because I've been editing other videos. So I actually kind of copied Robert almost directly. But being the frugal guy that I am, I went straight to Amazon and found an Molly admin pouch with the back strap, I'll call it, the actual back harness for $29. And the radio fits in there perfectly. It's got a couple of pockets inside that one holds the mic when I'm, moving it around, transport, whatever.
Are you sharing your screen, Steve, yet?
I'm not. I can.
Yeah.
Me. So that's the pouch that I use, and I've already dropped that link in the chat a little bit earlier. And that is an affiliate link because Amazon's rather judicious with their affiliate program. But that pouch holds the radio. It's got a couple of spots in the front that, like, I can put the microphone in one. I've got my Denko 5 amp hour battery in there. And then I just have a roll of coax that I've got clipped on the front. And actually, I've got that here behind me. Let me grab that and I will. So, literally,
nice.
Just hangs right there for transport. And then we're using the same antenna, the Elk log periodic, but I also have an Arrow dual band.
Let me talk about that Elk, because I have the Arrow right there. It's the famous Arrow Christmas card holder. I really do like that, but holding it is a giant pain in the tuchus. Like, your arm is dying by the end of that pass. That's why I put a mount on it and on a tripod. But even then, you lock it down and then you're messing with the radio. Then you got to unlock it and then move it up more.
Move it a little bit, yep.
Those Elk antennas, logarithmic, so you don't have to worry about having the dual plexer built in like you do in the Arrows.
Well, and
it's lighter, much lighter.
The diplexer in the Arrow only handles 10 watts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you happen to be on high power, you'll smoke that diplexer.
I think that's one reason that antenna we had a problem with that antenna. That's kind of half the reason why I haven't gone and really tried to do a satellite contacts. Is I think we did smoke that. Mike and me hooked it up to a 100-watt radio one time, and we didn't realize it was at 100, and we transmitted. We didn't see any smoke.
So you can take the diplexer out of the equation and just hook the receive up to a Baofeng.
Is Elk the brand, right?
Elk is the brand.
Yeah, I'm just trying to Google around to drop a link, and Amazon doesn't have Elks.
Yeah,
I see several logarithmics.
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest either going through one of the bigger.
Yeah.
There you go. Here's the GigParts link.
I mean, they'll often run a sale on the Elk. The thing I'll say is make sure you get the right one. They do make a
220 version.
They make a 220 version, and so if you're not paying attention, you could end up with a 220, which is nice to have. I've got one, and I use it with my Alinco 220 FM radio. But just make sure you get the 2 meter 70 centimeter version.
So there's no other special one. So this is the link you sent me. 2 meter 70 centimeter. There's nothing that you have to worry about dual plexers or anything like that. What is this pipe section right here?
So that's what should be the handle.
Okay.
I don't know if Robert made the adjustment that I made, but somebody posted a 3D printed mod that goes on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a little foam grip that you can get for it off Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I don't need the lower pipe. I do keep it in the bag just in case. But yeah, it makes it a little bit easier for me to point.
Yeah, it's also a little lighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Using the 3D printed handle.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oops, probably didn't want to close that. Go ahead.
I mean, if you're going to mount that, you do want to keep that lower piece of PVC. And I mean, it's really just two elbows, two short pieces of pipe, and a T. I mean, it's actual PVC you could buy if you lose it. But I do the same thing. I just keep it in my elk bag so that I don't lose it.
Nice. And these things aren't that heavy. Do they have weight on here? Dimensions. Oh, 1.4 pounds. So come on. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I probably
Hold-
will be buying this.
Hold it out at distance, and it does get heavy after a while.
Well, yeah.
But
And
everything does.
But
if you do like
compared
I
to
do,
that, 4 pounds,
yeah,
what the Arrow 2 is probably at. It's much heavier.
Yeah.
it is. I also add a phone mount to mine so I can live stream passes.
Mm-hmm.
And that adds some weight. That adds a little bit of weight as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that at some point because I did notice you had a phone mount on there, but you also have dual camera set up on your phone somehow.
I do.
So
That's
we may need to get into that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic, and it's probably worth
Oh yeah, no,
worth
that's
its own discussion.
the quick answer is special software Robert bought.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
May have to throw me that link here a little later.
Yeah. I'm looking at a new phone, but like you said, that's another topic. Haven't bought it yet. I still have the Pixel 5.
See, I'm running the 6 Pro,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually have to go tomorrow to get the screen replaced.
Ooh. I'm just
It's
buying
not
new.
it's not bad. I've got a chip in it, and then there's a couple of like chips at the bottom that I think they did when they replaced it the last time.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, no cost to me, so I'll let iFixit replace the screen and move forward.
So back on topic here. Do y'all do anything with your mics for recording? Do you run additional lines out through a recorder to record the contacts?
Yep, absolutely. Because trying to write down the contacts while you're making them, as you're holding the phone, the hand mic, and the antenna,
Mm-hmm.
you turn into a guy with 8 arms.
Yeah,
So,
it certainly helps to have an extra set of arms when you're doing this stuff. But I mean, it's amazing how quickly you can start to adjust. And you kind of learn how to do it, right? And probably one of the skills that's most important is to get a feel for how fast the satellite moves so that you're not all the time having to hold your satellite tracking application, right? Your phone app. So once you get a feel for that, you can kind of track without the app. And I just pull my phone out every now and then, right? If I sense I'm losing the bird, right, you can kind of hear when you start to lose the bird. I'll pull the phone out, get back on target, and then I'll put the phone back in my pocket and get back to business.
well, and if we go over the phone mount, that might be a way to help track the bird for guys getting started. Is have the app up and just have your phone mounted to the antenna.
Yeah, what I've noticed recently, and I don't know if this, I haven't had a chance to play with this enough, but what I've noticed is that the proximity to the antenna is monkeying with the the gyroscope in the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I was
So
gonna say the other problem is my watch band is magnetic. So if I'm not paying attention to which hand my phone's in, yeah,
Yeah.
it'll
Well,
spin the compass.
that was a issue I had when I was trying to do satellites majorly. I mounted my phone to the antenna like Robert did, but
Mhm.
since the shaft in the arrow is metal, um, I think it was interfering with the compass for a while. Because when I put it on the ground, I was getting a different reading than when it was on mounted to the antenna. Because I was trying to do what Robert was doing, but it was interfering. Is the Elks aluminum so they don't affect the magnetical field around the phone, or is it?
I mean, that's primary. If I'm working FM birds, I'm using the elk. So I've been experiencing that with the elk.
Mm-hmm. Well, with the elk, but so you haven't seen that issue like I described, the magnetic field of the compass being affected by being mounted on the
With
antenna,
the
the
arrow,
metal
you mean?
on. I seen it with the arrow, so I was asking about the elk.
Yeah. So, I mean, the last time I use my L or the arrow if I'm doing linear satellites, and I didn't notice it the last time
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a linear satellite, but I'll have to try that again.
Interesting.
Yeah, I have not worked the linear birds yet,
Mm-hmm.
and I just checked the code tank does not work on the.
Ah.
But you might talk to the boys over at
Oh
Gigaparts and
no,
see if
I
make that work.
I agree. I agree. So Robert is doing something fancy here.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought I'd show folks
Mm-hmm.
how things are connected in here, right? So I've got everything I need in this bag. So I've got my coax,
How much coax are you using?
6 foot.
Okay.
So I've got coax, and then I'm not sure if you guys can see that. I've got a little 90-degree
Mm-hmm.
adapter down there that connects the coax to the radio.
That's smart. That's
I did the
smart.
same.
Just
Yep.
yeah, otherwise you're
You're
just
poking
kinking
out
the
the
heck
bag.
out of
Yeah.
there. Yep. The 2730 has a really long cable for the control head. So I just kind of roll it up and stick it in this pocket right here. And I have just enough sticking out to connect the head. I keep the head over here in this pouch, and then I'll pull it out. You can see I've got some hook and loop on there. So when I'm ready to operate, I just stick it on top of the bag. And I do keep
That hook and loop is brilliant.
I
Yep.
do keep an audio cable here so
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
when I am not in front of a group, I'll plug this into one of the audio ports back here in the radio, and then I'll use my headset. So I
Now,
always keep that handy.
have
And
you
then,
noticed if you plug it into the port 2, you only get the B side audio?
yeah, yep, that's by design. That's the way the 2730 works. So you have to make sure you get it into the right one.
Only the B side.
Yep.
So you have to have the receive on the B. If you're transmitting on B, you only have the transmitting audio, or it actually
No,
might cut out the speaker.
yeah, it might cut out, but
But then when I have this on, I keep this stowed in this pocket when it's closed. And then I'll pull this out, and when I need to pull out my phone, I'll just tuck this into this little side pocket. It's like a little garage for the mic. I mean, this is a fantastic bird for working satellites. It's got these little webbings on the side so that
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't completely flop open and you lose everything, right? That would suck. So that's very helpful. And then, like I said, I've got this little this has got a magnetic closure on it, and 3 amp hour bio-NO fits in there perfectly. And then, like I said, I've got just enough cable here where I can plug this in and be ready to rock.
There you go.
Now you said a 3 amp hour. You said.
Yep, that's all I use.
Yeah, very nice. I bought one recently, and I'm looking forward to doing something with it.
Yeah. It's I can probably get I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 passes. I usually don't wait that long to charge it, but yeah, that's the bag.
Beautiful, beautiful. Kyle AA0Z said, "Rob, you inspired me to create a satellite pack from my old Kenwood TM71. Had just
Yeah, that
lying
was
around."
great. And
There you go.
I was able to make a contact with Kyle, so that was awesome. I mean, there's nothing better than, somebody saying, "Hey, I'm interested in this." And then, they actually act on it. And then when you get to make a contact with them, man,
Mhm.
that's like hitting a home run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So mine's very similar. I don't have a good overhead cam right now, or else I'd pull
It's all
mine
right.
out. But the bioinno sits in the front pouch, like you've got the 3 pouches on yours, Robert, where you normally keep the microphone. I store the radio head in there, and the the Denko battery, because I've got one of Dennis's batteries that I'm running off of.
I keep bugging him for a 3 amp hour. I know he's working on it, but
Um,
I'll
Well,
be
his
happy to
his
switch
five
over.
amp hour is not that
yeah,
small
fi-
comparable.
five and a
Actually,
half.
y'all take the stream. I don't think I can give y'all all that, but I will be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm running, off I think it's 5 amp hour bioinno, or not bio, Denko. He's gonna kill me. But and then I think the center pouch has all of the head unit cable, and I bought my
Gotcha.
2730 used, so I got a smoke show of a deal, and it came with the remote head mount, so it had the magnets on the back already.
Nice.
So I just stick the metal plate inside and magnetic
Perfect.
through the bag, and it just hangs there. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
it
That's
works out
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
well.
I don't have a down-facing camera, so I'm just gonna steal the whole screen. So
Mm.
this is the Denko battery, the 5 amp hour, 5.5 amp hour. Not that big compared to the 3 amp hour battery I just picked up from Bioleno down in Orlando. Side by
Yeah.
side,
So they've
it's
got
only one extra cell.
Yeah.
2 different configurations for that 3 amp hour battery.
Yeah,
They've
this
got
is the
one.
the the longer, fatter
Yeah.
one.
Well,
Eh,
that's the longer one. I got the fatter one, right? The
Yeah.
fatter one fits right in that, that little pouch that I've got.
Yeah, I took the fatter one because I thought it'd be easier to throw in the bottom of a bag.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm actually using his old 6 amp hour
Ooh.
in the pouch, because the battery management system wasn't as good on it. So he didn't want to put those out. Guess it was a cheaper BMS than the DIY kit. The DIY kit's 5.5 amp hour. And I like the clear heat shrink on yours, Frank. That's
Pretty slick.
that's
Yeah.
pretty
That's
slick.
the TSA model.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used this several times in the field, and it goes nicely in the back, down in the bottom of my saddlebag with this pointing up. So this
Mm-hmm.
was the reason why I went with this one. Also, since this is kind of the same width of it, it was kind of the same idea, but then I got a Denko battery, so
I
it's
will
better.
say, when I went to San Diego, I took both my Denkos as well as my 12 amp hour bioinno,
hmm
and TSA didn't have any problems with the Denkos, but they had a problem with the bioinno because the heat shrink was cracked on it.
Why?
Oh,
Because it was
interesting.
cracked?
They thought it was damaged. And I'm like, no, it's just the plastic covering. And once I convinced them of that, they let me go. But
hmm Well,
Mm.
the other thing with the TSA though is they pulled me over when I had the 20 amp hour battery in there, and that's a little
Oh,
much.
yeah.
Yeah, I did get through several times, but that's the only one I got a hassle on.
Well, they also hassled me because I forgot to take my CPAP out of my bag.
Don't even get me started on that. Do not get me started on that.
Wait,
Huntsville,
my CPAP is that size.
the first guy said, "No, you don't need to do it," and the lady
Hmm.
behind it said, "Oh, yes, you do." And it's not the first time this has happened to me.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I'm not getting into it. I'm not getting into it. That and Robert posted some brilliant pictures of me.
Yes,
If
he
you
did. Yes, he did.
if you follow Robert on Twitter, you would see me nervous as heck because I'm trying to remember, did I take out that lighter? I know I put both lighters inside the suitcase.
Wait, wait.
Um,
The torch?
yes.
You had the torch with you?
Well, I had the torch on the trip,
You had the
but
lightsaber. That torch.
No, no, no,
no,
no, no.
No, not that one.
no,
Okay.
no, no. No, I just had normal torches for cigars.
Okay.
But yeah, I knew I threw them in the bag Jason was bringing out, but I forgot. I was like, did I forget? No, I didn't forget. I knew I put them in there. Did I put them in there? But so that was the picture. Wait a half an hour for them to get to me.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hopefully you guys got there early.
we did, and that's why
We did.
Frank was looking relieved.
Well,
Because it was going to be a TikTok on the other side because I beat Robert, pre TSA man himself, advocate, and I beat him to the scanner machine and through the scanner machine. However, my bag got pulled and they were so backed up on bags. I sat there for a
Yeah.
half an hour waiting.
I was gonna say,
I
and
caught up and zoomed right past them.
And his bag got pulled too. I forgot
Mhm.
why. It
Um,
was something silly.
yeah, I don't recall why.
a bunch of random wires and
Mike,
No,
thank
it
you for the
was.
super chat. He says, "Awesome stream. I'll catch up on Team Replay. Team Replay is amazing. Go ahead and have some dinner, man. 7-3, and come back when you can." Jeff said just flew west, no problem with my CPAP machine. Normally, I don't have a problem with the CPAP machine. I ask the guy independently of whatever signs they have,
Mhm.
do I need to take it out? And most of the time they get it right. Only 2 occasions they got it wrong, and it's been the biggest pain in the butt when they do.
Yeah.
I
Well,
remember what it was, Frank. It was the
Yeah.
monopod, right?
Oh
That's what they pulled me for the
uh,
monopod.
yeah.
I just got one, so
I kind of
And
like
that's the
that
first
monopod.
time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time they pulled me for it.
Mm. Well,
But
back.
getting back to these
Yeah.
bags, I'm looking on the floor at the litter of bags I tried before I got to the one I really like. So again, it's trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you just need to see what works for you and your operating style.
I was gonna say when I saw that harness that you had on the latest rendition, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's the ticket."
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's pretty slick.
had to jump on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we talked a little bit about phones. What apps do you use to track satellites after you have a rig that's able, at least you think it's able to reach the satellite?
Let's see.
So while
'Cause I
while
got
Steve's looking, I use ISS detector, and I've tried a bunch of them, and I think it's the best one out there. It is available on both platforms. It is a paid app. It's like $3 for the lifetime
mhm.
of use, and that gets you. I think you can actually. I think there's a cheaper option. There's there's groupings of objects that you can enable in the app.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to look at space junk and kind of famous space uh, articles, you can track those. If you want to track planets and heavenly bodies, you can do those. If you want to do amateur radio satellites, that's a separate a separate group,
Hmm.
or you can pay $3 and get everything.
Three
Yeah.
bucks is not bad at all.
Yeah, I'm pretty
No,
sure it's
it's
$3.
and yeah, ISS detector is one of the ones that I've got. Um, I also have W1ANT sat tracker was another one that I grabbed.
Are these talk about platform. These are both Androids.
So I'm an Android guy. I do have an iPad, but I have not tried it for satellites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
ISS detector it's
it's
available
on
on both
both.
platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming the W1 ANT is also on both, but
There
it's
is there is a really cool app on iPhone. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It is not available on Android, and it gives you um, it gives you like your elevation that you're pointing um,
mhm.
the phone at. I don't know what it's called though, but it's I mean there's some good apps out there for both platforms for sure. But to me, ISS detector is just easy. It always works. They update satellites as they change very quickly, which is important. So
Mm-hmm.
And I
that's my
want to
preference.
say with ISS detector, if you buy the app, you can go through and select just the FM birds
Yeah, yeah,
or whatever, and it will give you all the notifications.
yep.
I'm I'm sure my security guy loves me at work because I I get notified of passes all day long, and I can't be near my phone.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Yeah. Now, the day I go out in the parking lot and grab the setup is probably the day I get escorted off the base.
Yeah, not the base. Not the base.
There's
Hey,
probably
I'm not flying
some
the
guys that are
drone.
blowing up Ham Alert as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably. I know
Uh,
I've got
s-
some guys that blow up Ham Alert.
at least that's muted
so
Mm.
most of the time.
so which satellites will be the easiest for someone to get on and work a contact?
Easy. If you're talking
Yes.
FM birds right now, they're all tough because the few that we have that are working are packed almost every pass. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
Now I did luck out, and my first ever satellite contact I made off the signal stick that's mounted on my car,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in the drive-through at Bojangles getting breakfast.
Nice.
So it was early in the morning, nobody was on, and it was a perfect pass. And I worked a gentleman out of Chicago.
Nice.
Chicago.
Yeah, your best bet is to work either early in the morning or late in the evening. Don't attempt your first pass on a Saturday afternoon, right? You're going to get clobbered. Um, yeah, I mean, there's just not a lot of viable FM birds out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have the Tevils, that they're gone.
What happened to
And
them? Are
they turned them off. They're going to deorbit them.
Oh,
They were planned to be a short period satellite.
I was gonna
So
say, and they were like 7 in a train, weren't they?
yeah, so there were 8 of them,
Okay.
and they would turn like 2 or 3 on every 3 or so days. So you'd have like, you know, 1, 4, and 5 on, and then 3 days later you'd have 2, 7, and 8. They just keep rotating them through to keep the batteries fresh and to keep them working well.
mm-hmm.
And that worked great.
Oh, and looks like Eric's saying they've already deorbited.
Oh,
So
bummer. Bunch of good equipment just burned up that way. Um, what is the
they're not.
difference between? We said this before a couple of times. Linear and FM satellites.
So it's the mode, right? So FM is just like FM on your mobile, and linear birds have a transponder that give them a certain amount of bandwidth, and it varies per satellite. But you've got just if you think about uh, your 20-meter band or your 40-meter band, right? You've got a certain amount of bandwidth where that band starts and where it stops. And it's the same thing on these linear satellites. You're still working on 2 meters or 70 centimeters in most cases, but you're working SSB and you're working across that transponder. So you can have multiple conversations going on at the same time.
Interesting.
Oh wow. Okay.
So you
Yeah,
have to
where
have a single sideband radio, a 2 meter single sideband radio to do that.
well, and in most cases it's similar to the FM birds where you've got, you know, 2 meters in one direction, 70 centimeters in the other. So you have to have
Mm.
you've got to have something that can do SSB. Right. And that's
Both
that's
two
why
meter
the
and 70.
818s were so popular, right? So people would take two 818s or an 817 and an 818. One would be your uplink radio, one would be your downlink radio, and that's how you'd get it done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Awesome. And any other?
So,
Go ahead, Robert.
well, I was just going to say, so everyone starts on FMs and then you level up to linears, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say the 9700 portable
I was
might
about
be
that.
the
That was the
ticket.
one Mike and I kind of maybe fried my arrow with.
Okay.
Yeah, the 9700's awesome radio for working linears too. I like to be outside doing it, and hey, some people take their 9700 out and
Mhm.
lug it around. I haven't thought about how to rig up the 9700 into a chest rig yet, but hopefully I won't have to. Let's hope that the new Yaesu will work.
I was gonna say I was at Rars Fest back in April up in Raleigh, North Carolina, and there was a gentleman out there working the birds with a 9700, and he actually has a like podium set up.
Oh yeah.
So the radio's stuck in there, and then on top of it, he puts his laptop. And that was a slick little setup, Robert. I think I sent you a picture of it. I may have
Yeah,
put it on Twitter
I
or
think
something.
I've seen that. I think I've seen that. Eric, KH6WI
Mm-hmm.
also takes his out, and I mean he's a fantastic satellite op, and he drags his all over the islands. So it can certainly be done.
So if
Um,
you want to work Green Cube, he's the guy.
yep,
What
yep, for sure.
Don has a question here. Says, "What do you use to operate QO100? Power output 100."
So I mean, you can do that with the 9700.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Eric says you can't operate QO100.
You shouldn't on satellites because the satellite might try to echo it back at the same power, and you're just going to drain it. That's why during satellite operations, you should try to operate around 5, no more
Well,
than 10 watts.
Frank, QO100 is an actual satellite. I
Oh,
think. I think they're talking about a
Yeah.
satellite. Like you have SO50, which is
mm-mm.
an FM satellite. I think they're talking about the satellite
Yeah.
QO100.
QO100 doesn't reach the U.S.
Yeah, is that the geostationary one over Europe?
Oh, that might be. I'm looking
I'm
for
not
it right
familiar
now.
with that bird, but that might be that geostationary one.
That one's near Japan, or at least it was set up by Japan. Yeah, it is geostationary.
Ah,
Single hop as far west as Brazil, as far as east as Thailand. So,
Not far enough.
nope, Middle East, North Africa, and Europe.
a helpful website is, I think it's Eris, where they keep track of satellite contacts and if other people have been able to work them. Is that right?
That and
So
Satnox.
yeah, I think you're thinking of the AMSAT page, Frank. So
AMSAT. That's
there's
what I'm thinking of. Yes.
yes, so there's an Oscar status page that shows all of the operating satellites and how successful people have been in the last few days. So if you're successful making a contact, you can go to the status page, you can put your details in, and other folks will see that people are making successful contacts or otherwise, right? If you don't hear a certain bird, you can go out there and say, not heard. And then other people know that it's, at least at that time frame, it wasn't operating.
Mm-hmm. I just dropped the link to that in the chat. Also, all the links that we talked about and linked, I am putting in the description, and also I'm going to pin it to the first comment. We got 5 minutes left here, gentlemen.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and let me just kind of do the round robin thing here. Let's start with you, Steve. What's going on your channel? Where can we find more about you and anything else you want to shout out?
Yep. So I will actually have a video both Tuesday and Thursday night this week. Tuesday night, I did a build of a kit to work satellites. Some of you guys may have heard of eggnogs from Halibut Electronics. And then Thursday night, I did an interview with the Athens University. They had a trailer out at Huntsville.
Oh.
And had a full satellite ground station set up in that trailer. And that was a very cool setup. So that'll be Thursday night's video. Only because I had to beat Robert at building the eggnogs kit.
I love it. I love it.
Still got to put the aerials on it and put it up on a mast, but it'll be ready to go.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much for swinging by and talking about your kit.
Absolutely.
And also the clubhouse over there on Tuesdays.
Clubhouse Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central.
Nice, nice. Robert, man, what's going on your channel and where we can find more about you?
Sure. Well, I'm still going through my Huntsville footage and putting out videos related to that. The overhead cam that you guys saw earlier is because I'm doing some kit building. So, Steve, you better hustle if you're going to beat me.
I've already got it built.
Yeah, but you're not posting your video till Tuesday.
Dirty pool.
I love this. I love it.
So I also got a couple of the eggnogs kits. Great little kits. So I've been doing some kit building here. That's why I have the setup that you guys saw a little bit earlier. That's not the only kit I've been working on. So we'll see some kit builds coming in the near future. And let's see. I think the weather is gonna start to turn. So as soon as it does, I've got a couple of M² antennas to get installed.
I'm so looking forward to it. Robert, it's not even funny. I'm gonna be on my roof and I'm gonna be building out this ham shack and in the attic, and yeah. I can't wait.
I see next week we're under 100, so
yes,
we're on the right track.
I was gonna say the weather's been decent over here in South Carolina. I think our high yesterday was 82. So I actually got the grass mowed midday. But Robert, you're talking about kit builds. I'm going to spend a little bit of your money if you don't already have it.
Okay.
The Omni Fixo.
Oh, that's a Vince contraption.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. I passed on that whenever I saw that before. It was really hard. I've got some kind of old school helping hands that I use, but I'll be looking forward to your videos, Steve, to see how those worked out for you.
Oh, they are phenomenal. I love it. Best I ever spent.
Gentlemen, I am going to say Thank y'all for joining here, and I'm going to take the screen. I'm Frank KG5AHJ. Thank y'all for watching. I do appreciate it. This is going to be part of the audio podcasts that are on my audio podcast channel. Search for Tank Radio in any audio podcast app you have, and you'll find two audio podcasts that aren't on YouTube. Thank you to everyone who said they bought my mug during the show. I do appreciate it, and I can't wait to get those ordered. It's probably going to be another month or so before I get them shipping, but once they are able to go, and you will hear it from me. And thank you to Mike, who donated the super chat during the stream. Thank you. I think that's it. Stickers over on Grapevine Amateur Radio, Tank at checkout at Gigaparts, and all the other affiliate links are in the description. Y'all have been amazing. Thank y'all for watching, and as always, go forth and conquer. Say bye.
73.
Bye, gang.
I should queue up, the outro before I say bye. A quick shout out to all my Patreons who makes the show possible. You can support me by joining Patreon in the link below. And on to Tank Radio.